Hey y'all, 2017 Pigeon Forge Ride Run Fall Edition, and I got a 71 Plymouth Barracuda, the Incredible Hulk. I think y'all are gonna like. Let me get the camera turned around, we'll take a quick look at it.
Eddie, thanks so much for giving me some time to tell me about your hot rod, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. It's a 71 Plymouth Barracuda. Of course, it's been highly modified. It has started out with a 440, and of course, it's been bored and stroked to a 499 cubic inch big block. Has aluminum heads, has roller cam. Have a friend custom make the 3 4-barrel intake. It has 3 840 Biggs Performance racing carburetors on it. When we broke it in there, it basically was burning every 5 minutes, burning about a gallon of gas sitting on jack stands.
Holy cow.
So yeah, it's making plenty of power.
How many gallon tank are you taking with you?
Well, it's got like the stock tank, and that's a cool thing too with some of the cars that I try to build, like my Chevelle and like this. I always try to keep them without, it's a pretty rare car. That 71 Cuda is a pretty rare piece. They only made 19,000 of those cars. And the Chevelle's the same way. They only made 2,919. It's a post car, so it makes it a pretty rare car. And a lot of people fuss when they see these about cutting these cars up or changing them. Well, I didn't cut the quarters. I've cut nothing in the floor. I've modified nothing. You could take the blower and all the stuff off and put a 4-barrel intake back on it. It's just it's a 71 Barracuda.
Did you tub it?
Not at all.
Okay.
Nope. Don't tub it. Don't cut it. Like I said, 19,000 of them ever made. There's not that many of them survived. So, don't take a car that's that rare and make a race car out of it. We can buy a race car.
Right. So tell me about the whole Incredible Hulk. Is it just because of the motor, or is that something you're a big fan of?
It was actually just because of the paint. When me and my wife have a Challenger, a new Challenger, and when we went to buy this car, we went to buy an old Challenger. So we would have an old Challenger and a new Challenger. Well, that Cuda was sitting there with the hood up, and for some reason, it just kept calling to me. I'm looking at this Challenger, and I'm looking at this car, but every time I find myself keep looking back at this Cuda. It wouldn't leave me alone, so we ended up making the deal on that car. So when I bought it, and me and her both like on a car, it's called Green with Envy, that color. It comes on a new Challenger. So we did that stuff, and of course, as soon as we saw it painted, Julie and I both were like, the Incredible Hulk. So it just kind of progressed from there, and then I know Tony Hedrick and Kenny Clayton, KW Clayton, stuff that does our airbrush work. And then when we did that, I said, we've got to come up with something to take an airbrush. So we came up 2 or 3 ideas, and that's what we hit. We hit that on. So that's where the Incredible Hulk thing came from, just from seeing the color.
Then you met up with Lou Ferrigno somewhere.
Exactly. He was here at the Comic Con. We were watching our local news one night, and there he was on the news with the weatherman, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look, there's Lou Ferrigno. We got to find out where he is. And he was here at the convention center downtown, signing autographs, doing things. So when we found out, I immediately took the trunk lid off my car. Here I go into the convention center carrying my trunk lid, get to meet Lou Ferrigno, shake hands, got his autograph on the trunk, pictures with him. It's so awesome. Right. Had it cleared back over, so now it's really the Incredible Hulk,
Okay. Yeah, I wondered if you airbrushed over that, or if his signature, or if you just cleared it.
We scuffed it. My painter said he told me what to take, some gray Scotch Brite, so we scuffed it and wiped it off the tack cloth, and then he autographed it. And then we take it back to him, and then he cleared over it more, and then buffed it so it's locked in the paint in the clear. So it won't come off.
And you drive the car?
Going to drive it. Just as soon as this show's over, we're headed out to Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you think it's going to do?
I'm sure it'll be great. We drove it to probably 20 miles or so around. We drove it to church Sunday. It seemed like it's running great. Everything's doing great. It's not overheating. So I'm going to take her out there and we're going to put her to the test.
Well, tell me a little bit about the interior.
Now, the interior stuff is kind of the same way. I kind of like something wild. It's basically stock interior, stock rear seat. And I took 3 springs out of the bottom, 3 springs out of the back in order to build that full waterfall console all the way to the package tray. So I did that, and I'm kind of, I guess, like Hulk. I see things when I do it, and it gives me ideas and stuff like that. So I just, like Julie says, if you can see it, you can build it. And she says, I can see it. So I've just been given the ability to be able to take one piece of something and see it, and I see many, many uses for it.
I like the MOPAR emblem on the roof, too. I think that's a cool idea.
That was cool. The lady Bonnie Story at Loop-de-Loop Embroidery, she always did. If I did anything with embroidery in the seat, something, she always did it for me. And she also wraps cars and trucks, that big sticker machine. Right. And I loved the big MOPAR M, and I told Bonnie I'd give her measurements on it, and we went and printed out a decal. Took it on and stuck it on the car, peeled the center out, sprayed it, taped it up, peeled the outside off, taped it all, painted it. So it's all paint. It's all paint. It started from a decal, but It's all paint.
Right. And is there a hood for the car?
There is, but when I did it first with the 2 4-barrels, of course it would fit and it would hinge. Of course, when we had to add the extra 8 or 10 inches for the 3rd 4-barrel, well, now the way it pans out, because I want it centered. If I had to put it, say, at the back and then screwed it forward, I could have got it to work, but it would have looked unbalanced. Everything at Scotty has to be balanced. So we screwed it back, and then we screwed it back, and then it wouldn't fit.
Have you dynoed it to see what kind of horsepower?
Not really, but see, forever I've raced late model dirt cars, and I have engine builder friends and all that, and they pretty much know when they build motors, they can pretty much tell you. Vic Hill did one of mine, and he told me, Eddie, he said it'll make 720 to 740 horsepower before I started. He started up, the thing made 732 horsepower.
Right.
And the guys who build it, like I say, this is their job, like mine and your job, they know. And just like my motor builder told me, he said, that thing will make, he said the Chevelle will make easily 1,300 plus horsepower. That motor there is 6 cubic inches smaller. It'll pretty much make the same thing. But I just tell everybody, Scotty, I said, they make about 1,000 horsepower,
Yeah,
just so we don't sound so big.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You
yeah.
can verify 1,000, yeah.
Easily,
Right.
yeah.
Are you gonna, I mean, do you like to drag race it or just cruise
No,
around?
sir, it's just a show car. See, when back in our younger days, I guess I was a race car driver. I drove a late model dirt car like I was talking about for years and years. And like I told everybody, something they want me to drag race it and drag race my Chevelle. I mean, you spend a lot of money on these show cars and stuff. And I did on race cars, but I knew when I was taking that race car out, I was going to tear that race car up. I have no intentions of tearing this car up. You know what I mean? It's too beautiful. So
Well,
no, I'm not going to race it.
to fix a race car is about bandaging it back together,
Exactly.
right? You
Exactly.
do something to this one, you're gonna actually have to fix it.
Yeah, boy, you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
But it's not a trailer queen.
No, I am going to, of course, you have to trailer it longer trips
Oh,
like
yeah.
this back and forth, but you can bet I am going to be out there on that street Saturday.
Well,
and stuff like that.
and for a runner for, what'd you say, 5 minutes for a gallon of gas?
Yeah.
It may be driven to one end of the strip and have to be trailered back.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Right, we had the Chevelle up here in the fall in the same way, we idle it basically around here 38 miles, and the thing burned $75 worth of pump gas. We figured it was getting 1.4 miles a gallon out there idling back and forth.
And you gotta run race fuel.
No, thank goodness they were running, both of them have blower pistons, low compression pistons, and thank goodness, Scotty, they were running on pump gas. I mean, if it didn't, you know, $10 a gallon,
Yeah.
and you know, you're getting 1.4 miles a gallon. Now, fun would kind of run out after a little while.
But now, you know, cool ain't cheap.
No, that's
It's
right.
not, I tell people, cool's not cheap. It's not a good investment. Most of the time, it's not comfortable, but you know what it is? It's cool.
Yeah, that's right.
the only way
That's
you
right.
can get it.
And that's if you build cars like I'm building, chances are you're not worried about gas mileage.
No, it shouldn't be. Eddie, tell me before we run, is there anybody we need to give a shout out to?
Yes, Jim Loy, he's a good friend of mine, something, a J&L machine. He did all the custom work. He did the velocity stacks, he did the intake, he did the linkage, did the 499 emblems, did that one-off shifter thing inside of it. I mean, wow, some of the stuff there is absolutely incredible. I mean, you can just hand him a blank piece of metal and he can hand you back some of that beautiful stuff on that car. I mean, it's crazy. And then the other guys, Tony from Red Line Lumtronics, from the Halo Headlight Company stuff, he gave me those headlights and stuff and put them in there. And then, like I say, we're going to go cruising the coast and we're going to be in his booth, his car show down there. So that's going to be awesome going down to that show too.
Eddie, awesome job, brother. Thanks so much for giving me some time today.
Thank you, Scotty. We enjoyed it, buddy. Thank you.
So there you go, 2017 Pigeon Forge Rod Run Fall Edition, a 1971 Plymouth Cuda, incredible Hulk. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. See ya! Hey y'all, don't forget to visit ScottieDTV.com for more cool content and an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the logo at the end of this video.